Hi, this is Dave, and I'm here to talk about the financial results that we got from Stellantis today. Stellantis, as you probably know, is the combination of Fiat Chrysler and Peugeot. Peugeot brought along Citroën and Opel. Fiat Chrysler brought Fiat Chrysler, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and of course, Ram, Dodge, Jeep, everybody. So it's a big company, but it's largely big in terms of number of brands, which is crazy large. We're going to talk about the financials and where former Chrysler stands in all of that. And before we start, I just want to point out €1 is about $1.08. So these numbers, if you just swap in dollars, you're pretty close, a little low. So first of all, we have the good news that Stellantis wants you to focus on, which is that for the first time, they had the highest market share for commercial vehicles in the Middle East and Africa region, and they kept their top spot for commercial vehicles in Europe and South America. And in the United States, they're still the top seller of plug-in hybrids, largely, well, let's face it, entirely due to Jeep, but the Chrysler Pacifica sort of gets a little bit in there. So they mentioned 20 new product launches before the year is over. That includes, the only Mopar one is the Ram 1500, which we all know about. And there's people who've driven them. It's got that Hurricane 6 in it, which is really quite a potent engine. More potent than either of the two Hemi V8s that it replaces. And for the first time, you have something that's more powerful than the 392 in a Ram 1500. So that's pretty impressive. Let's see, they've also got the Lancia Ypsilon, if I'm pronouncing either of those names right. A pair of Peugeot crossovers, the 3008 and the 5008. Maserati electric SUV. The Citroën Basalt, an SUV coupe, they say. No idea what that is, and I didn't bother looking it up. And 12 different Stellantis vans, but that's across 5 brands, so it's up to 18 by my count. That the other two that are going to come out in 2024 are the Charger, which has been delayed a bit but is still on the way, and the Wagoneer S. So that means that the Recon will show up in 2025. Stellantis North America, they had a adjusted operating income of 4.4 billion euros, which is down by nearly half from last year, which is to say the first half of 2023, but is still quite good compared to any other Stellantis division. And the margin is 11.4%, which is quite good, although not as good as the best Stellantis division. So, well, actually, let's look at what's going on in North America. And this is my favorite part of the report in some ways, because they say that sales volume fell partly because of lower market share. And, that's a little odd. It's a little bit like saying, well, yes, you're heavier on the scale, but that's partly because you gained weight. However, the company's guidance is that they will make up for it when their new product hits the shelves, so to speak, and that's coming later this year. So they figure that right now they've got a gap between the old Cherokee and the new Cherokee and so forth, and they'll deal with it. Around the world, their adjusted operating income was about 8.5 billion euros, and their net profit was about 5.6 billion euros. And again, it's down quite a bit from the first half of 2023, but it's still better, I think, than a lot of people expected. And their adjusted operating income margin is 10%, which is pretty healthy. It's almost the same as General Motors, which is interesting. The only other real news, I think, in there was that Leap Motor, which is the Chinese EV company that they bought into, has gotten approval to sell in Europe. Oh, and also today they reported that they found an investor to buy most of Como. I have no idea how you pronounce it, and they make robotics, and they were part of Fiat Chrysler, but they said when we do this deal, we'll sell them. And that's it.